Yes. Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to have all of you join us. Um, it's been a little bit of time since the Pune Seminar, and it's great to have everyone come back and, we can share and build on what we've learned so far. So we have an exciting evening ahead of us. We have a very interesting case, which many of you have, sent us your analysis. We were very happy to receive those and to see some very interesting and good work from all of you. So thank you for your participation in that. We will share more about that case and hear from the speakers just now. But firstly, I would like to speak about something that we're all interested in, I'm sure. And as we had discussed during the Pune seminar, we had spoken about, a mentoring program, this study buddy mentoring program. And we wanted to, really take you on a journey and not just leave you behind at the seminar and, see you in the next 3 years. But we want to be on this journey together, learning, taking this forward, seeing how we can now implement these ideas that we've shared with you, all those 5-finger superclasses, and help you with your difficulties that you have in applying it and learning it. So we've created this study buddy program aimed at, helping you with any difficulty that you have and creating resources and a structure where you can come and share and learn. And so I will be explaining this to you, how it's going to work and how we can go forward. So what we are doing is, many of you have already been put into your mentoring groups. We've created 30 WhatsApp groups are there with many of you in these groups of about 8 to 10 people in a group. So those groups that are existing will each be assigned a mentor. We have a very, very lovely pool of very experienced and good mentors who have asked to be involved and they want to assist in sharing this information. So we have some wonderful mentors, and those mentors will each be assigned to a group. So if you're in a WhatsApp group already, your group will be given one mentor, and these mentors will be chosen for your group based on your different needs. So depending on your experience level, what it is that you would need to focus on, and also taking into account things like which language you would like to study in. Your group representatives have already shared with us sort of your experience and also the language requirements and all of these sorts of things we have. So based on that, you will each be given your mentor. Now, very importantly, there will be some people here tonight who are not actually in a group yet or who have missed out somehow, but they still want to take part. So if you still want to be involved and you want to be included in this mentoring program and be put into a group, please do contact. I will give you the number at the end of this presentation. We will share with you, and you message us as soon as possible so that we can just finalize all of this and get started. So now, once your group receives their mentor, what is the next step? So how we will begin is that we will be planning 2 mentorship meetings, okay, over 2 months. So once in a month, you will meet with your mentor for 1 hour. So this will be starting from June itself. The mentor meetings will be starting from June, and for the rest of the month, we will be planning, coordinating and arranging all of this information, how to contact your mentor, etc., and when to set the date. But from June, it will start. There will be 2 months, and you will meet twice in this month. Now, it's very, very important that you communicate with your mentor through the WhatsApp group and choose your dates. It will be according to both of your needs. When the mentor and the mentees can meet, they will have their 1 hour. But now also along with this, it's also very important that you, send in all of your queries and doubts well in advance so that your mentor can adequately prepare and plan the session with you. So based on all the questions that are coming from your group, they will be able to have material ready that addresses all of your difficulties and examples, and also be able to guide you further on where this information is and how to access it and how to use it. So it's very important that you send all of this in advance, and you will be in touch with your mentor through the group, and all of this information can be resolved. And then you will meet, and they will assist and guide you. And based on your needs as well, the session will be adaptable according to the group and the mentor. And we would also love all feedback to come back. How was the first session? You let them know what was good, what you need more, and these things can be adjusted and go like this. So we will start off with these two meetings in 2 months, just to get an idea and to get a feel of how this is working for you. Now, once these 2 meetings are over with, we want to start a continual program, which based on this feedback, we can make some adjustments as needed, but we want to start a longer term program with consistent mentoring. And how will that work? So basically, once you've completed the 2 sessions, we will then be suggesting that you meet for 1 hour once in 2 months with the same mentor. You stay with your mentor in your group, and once in 2 months, you then meet and follow up on all of this information and continue to learn from them. Again, these meetings would be decided or planned in advance based on your needs, and the mentor would come and discuss and see what has happened since the last time that they met you. However, we feel that in order to do this, we would suggest that each student will be paying 250 rupees for that meeting. For each meeting, you each pay 250 rupees, and this will go towards compensating your mentor's time as well. It all goes to the mentor so that they can be there and really put all their energy, and it's valuable for all of you. So this is our suggestion, and it will take place over 6 months. And then based on this, again, we can see what is the feedback coming, what more do you need, how can we change, do you need to meet more often, or anything like this. We will adjust, and then we will continue again. But we'll put in the 6 months plan where we meet once in 2 months for 1 hour. And based on this going forward, we can then adjust it, make it longer, meet more often, depending on all of these variables and all of your feedback. So we do also request you to be in touch with your group representative, who must let us know all of this feedback. How is it working for you? Are you enjoying it or not, etc. So this is the plan. So after this meeting, we will be in touch with you and your group representative, letting you know who your mentor is, and they will be put in touch. You can contact them, and all of this will be set up. And that's it for the mentor program. We're looking very much forward to this and taking it forward and assisting you and being in contact with you and helping you as much as we can. So for those of you who are not in a group already and want to be put in a group so that they can take part in these 2 mentoring sessions, this initial program, this is the number that you can WhatsApp. Just send a message who you are, and we will be in contact, and we will put you in a group according to your needs as well. So if there's any doubts about any of this, you let your representative know what your doubts are or your concerns, and the representative will be in touch with us, and then we can make any adjustments that are needed as well, or share any extra information that is required. For those of you who have any doubts about this presentation, let your representative know. You should know who they are in your group. And if you're not in a group, you contact this number, and we will be sure to help you. So that's the start of the mentor program, the Study Buddy, and we're really looking forward to it. And we hope that you're excited and you're ready, you come prepared, and we make the most of these sessions. But now, I would like to hand the session over to Dr. Kirti Mutreja, who it was her case she had shared with you. We had sent out the information in advance, and we had asked you to study, and many of you had sent in very good analyses. But now, Dr. Kirti, if I can ask you to be here with us. Dr. Kirti is a very, very experienced homeopath from Mumbai. She's part of the Indian Gurukul, and she's been learning with us, and she's a very good practitioner and well-versed in these concepts of the 5 fingers, the superclass, and she will walk us through this case today. So thank you, Dr. Kirti. Would you like to take over?
Thank you so much. So thank you very much, everyone, for being a part of this 5-finger sessions, the seminar, and to go ahead. We're very delighted the way you've all responded to the cases shared. So there may be some participants who have not attended, who have not gone through the case. So I'll be here first sharing the entire case with all of you so that then we can go through it. So this is the case of a 46-year-old female. I think it's not sure. Yeah, so the 46-year-old female, she had presented to me.
Sorry, Dr. Kirti, it's okay. It's coming now. 1 second.
Yeah. So she had presented to me with the complaint of depression and insomnia mainly. Yeah. And when she had come, she was complaining that she had a very, very severe anxiety. And this she had been complaining of since 2021. That is when she had a series of trauma in her life. First thing was that she lost her mother, her father due to COVID. And just in a couple of months, she lost her mother also. And after that, her younger brother, to whom she was very much attached to, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And within 2 months, he also died due to that. And after that, her elder brother just threw her out of the parental house and took all the possession of the property. So all these things really affected her. And even after 3 months, the patient had met me in August 2024. And even after 3 years of this trauma, this grief, she was not able to come out of it. She was still there in that grief, and she felt that pain as intensely even 3 years later as she had felt in 2021. And she was constantly feeling that I could have done something to save them. Had I not got COVID, maybe I would have taken better care. And she also had a complaint of auditory hallucinations. She many times felt that the mother is calling from the adjacent room, their doorbells ringing, and all these things made her feel extremely sad and very much in despair. And this despair was also increased, her depression was increased with the fact that she said that I have nobody to share my feelings with. She was saying that I always had my mother to talk to. I've always lived in a very close knit family. I could share with my mother, my younger brother, I was very much attached to, and my sisters. But now my sisters are also living abroad in UAE, and I am alone over here. And it's my mother is gone, and I'm as if just abandoned. I'm totally separated from the entire family, everybody I was attached to. And then she also had constant guilt that she could not save her parents. In addition to that, she was praying a lot for for her parents, and restlessness. All these things were there. She didn't feel any desire to do anything, all the common symptoms of depression. And to add to that, she was always just sitting still in darkness. She didn't want to meet anybody. She didn't want to attend any social gatherings, which she was earlier very much fond of. And she just felt very empty and vacant and did not feel like doing anything. When asked that, how is this depression affecting you? She's like, now I'm not able to do even my routine work, my taking the studies of my daughter or cooking. No, nothing. I don't feel any desire to do anything. So when the patient had come to see me, she was already on very heavy psychotropic medications. And despite those medications, she was feeling very depressed, very low. And when what she was mentioning, that because of the medications, she was always feeling very sleepy. She was not able to wake up in morning. In the night, she still took time to sleep, but in the morning, she was not able to wake up, and that disturbed her a lot. And when asked that in what way is that disturbing her, so she was like that, this affects me in the way that I can't uh, my routine of morning prayer and everything gets disturbed, and this is something that really affects me. And she also had excessive anxiety about her daughter, about daughter's future, so much so that even the daughter got late from her school or tuition, even by 5-10 minutes, the patient would get really frantic and very panicky that what happened, has something wrong happened to her, has some accident happened to her, or anything bad has happened to her. And this anxiety, patient told, quite in I think the third or fourth sitting, that this anxiety was not new to her. This is something that has been a part of her nature since childhood. And even in childhood, said that I was very much attached to my mother, my family, and I always had this fear. I was always taking care of my mother, that my mother should stay healthy, she should always be there with me. And this fear, that anxiety thoughts always used to come to me. I mean, nothing should happen to my mother. What if something happens to her? If I lose her, then what? I never had any friends. I only had my mother, who was everything for me. So she was a person always mother, sisters, brother, family. That is all her life. And also another issue that she was sharing now was that she felt very much harassed and troubled by the elder brother, as he had taken up all the parental property. And so she recalled the day when she was actually thrown out of the parental house, and for that, for her, it was such an emotional pain. She said, I was so much attached to that house, all my memories of childhood, playing with my brothers and sisters, celebrating together, having all the good times and bad times together in that house, and just being thrown out of it was so much of an emotional trauma for me. And at the same time, when I asked her that how did it feel like, what was her experience in that situation, she was like, I felt that I'm just shaken. My entire life has been shaken. And the maximum anxiety she had was for her daughter's future. For herself, she had no desire to live. But she said that this was some security for my daughter's future, which is not there now. And her perception of the entire situation was as if the world has come to an end, as if there's no purpose of living. And among all of these situations, when I asked that what is it that affected her the most, so she said that maximum was her mother's death and her younger brother's death, because she said that for her mother's death, she felt as if she had been separated from her entire world, and so was for the younger brother. She said that I was so attached to both of them. We spent the entire childhood together. We played together. We did everything together. And now this separation from mother and the younger brother is just is intolerable. It's as if I've been abandoned. I've been just left alone in the world. They've gone, and I'm and I've been just left alone here, abandoned totally. Her experience was that as if the ground below her feet was taken away, and she was just separated from the place and from the people she was most attached to. Even in the dreams, the patient mentioned that she was still, I mean, even sitting there in front of me also, it felt as if she was still seeing or visualizing her mother. Her mother is sick. In the dreams she had, that I forgot to give the medicine, and now she's feeling very anxious, asking the younger brother, did you give the medicine? Oh, we both forgot to give the medicine. What will happen to her? So daily in the dreams, as well as while awake, she was always living in the past, taking care of sick parents. And and she was always in the dreams. When I asked what is the experience in the dream, she said, I will always had that fear that I should not get separated from my mother. I should give her medicine on time, so that she should be fine, that nothing should happen to her. And with that came extreme anxiety, fearfulness, and also she had a lot of sighing and sobbing. And when asked about her nature since childhood, the patient told that she's very sensitive, emotional, affectionate, jovial, fun loving, and loved to spend time with her family. And now she was avoiding social gatherings, but always she used to love to spend time with her immediate and extended family. But also, she mentioned that I was also an angry child. If somebody did something, or if some things were not done on time, that would anger me. And when I try to go deeper into her experience or perception of the anger, what are the things that really angered her? So, what it boiled down was that whenever things were not done as it was planned, whenever she said, whenever the routine, now I have to be planned, whenever that routine is disturbed, that used to irritate and anger me a lot. Just on her observation, when the patient is talking, the observation was that she's a very dull, gloomy person. She was talking very slowly. She was answering very slowly. All this history was not possible to get out of a depressed person in one sitting. It took 2, 3 sittings to get all her history in detail. She was as if not present mentally there. She was just lost in the past, living in the past. and she didn't have any particular hobbies or interests, just routine work. Just talking to parents, sisters was something that she had always liked to do all her life. And among the physical generals, there was nothing specific. Even the physical symptoms, there just was some little frozen shoulder and the generalized symptoms of depression. So what we did further in this case is, like, as we've all seen in the Pune seminar, how Shankaran sir emphasized upon the detailed record keeping in order to present the cases, to have the cases that can also be eligible to be shared in any of the researches. So, like, we have the patient's video recording, audio recording, the testimonial, that is fine. But when we want to discuss the case in any of the scientific groups, have any evidence-based proof for the patients getting improved, we need to document that with proper standardized and validated questionnaires. So for depression, there are many questionnaires, especially the PHQ-9, that is the Patient Health Questionnaire 9, is the most simplest because it just has 9 questions and a 10th confirmatory question. Whereas there are other, there is the HAMD, that is the Hamilton Depression Rating Scale, which has 17 questions. And the most famous and globally used is the BDI, the Beck Depression Inventory. But because these are really long with 40 questions in the BDI, so in the regular practice, I use the PHQ-9 for the depression and the GAD-7, that is the General Anxiety Disorder 7 questionnaires, which are globally accepted. So when the patient was asked to fill up these questionnaires, so we understood that her depression is really quite high. She had a PHQ-9 score of 17, which means moderately severe depression. And even the GAD score was 11, which means moderate anxiety. So now that we have seen this case, you've all read this case, worked on the case. So now we'll work upon the analysis and discuss the remedy. So I'm really happy to understand that most of you have already understood the right superclass, at least in this case. So we'll be analyzing the case along the same 5-finger method, or the Kundli as sir calls it. So first we'll be discussing that what is the superclass of the patient. The superclass is decided by what? By the patient's basic nature, by the way he responds in stressful situations, his dynamism. So we understand in this particular case that her dynamism was that she wants to maintain the routine. Even since childhood, whenever her routine was disturbed, that would irritate or anger her. And stability has been shaken, as if she has lost all security in life. And all the issues that she talked about was issues of family, finances, security for daughter, health. And so the superclass understanding is that it's the 4th superclass. Now we come to the kingdom understanding. So what we see in this particular patient, what situation like the death of the parents or of the brother or the taking away of the parental house. So whenever there's any situation that affects her, whenever she sees that something is not happening on time, that affects her. Each and every, we saw a lot of sensitivity and reactivity, and everything was like so much of emotional pain. Doctor, it affected me a lot. So she is very, very sensitive to everything that is happening around her, the traumatic situations, and also she was very much sensitive to the separation, whatever happened, whatever the brother did, whatever happened to the mother. So we see a lot of sensitivity and reactivity in the entire case. We never saw she's saying that I'm not able to handle this situation, I am lacking my ability to manage it, or I am losing something. The core experience of the patient was that as if I'm abandoned, I'm separated from those who I was so much deeply attached to, whether my house, whether my parents, whether my brother. So that is the core issue of the patient. So we understand that it is the plant kingdom, which is very sensitive to anything that is happening around her. Then coming to the subkingdom understanding. So what is the subkingdom in this particular patient? We need to have a family which has this sensitivity to attachment and detachment. Like she was so much attached to the family, to the brother and mother. And when that attachment was broken, when she was forced to be separated from them due to death, or she was forced to be separated from her house due to the elder brothers kicking her out of the house. So that gave her a lot of pain. And we see all the other features, that she's a fun loving person, always like to have family together, spend time together, festivities, social gatherings, all those beautiful moments spending with family. And now it's like as if the world is totally her world is just separated from her, and she has been abandoned, she has been left alone in the world, and everyone else is gone. So that was her core sensitivity that made me think of the Malvilles family. Now, coming to the miasm, that is the third finger, the patient had a lot of anticipation. What will happen to my daughter? Will this work out? So that gave a thought about the psychotic miasm. And also, she was still stuck in the acute trauma in the same intensity. But still, I could not very clearly point out the miasm. Is it acute miasm? Is it psychotic miasm? So it was not very clear in this particular case. And now we come to the last two fingers, which are equally important. The first three fingers were the system understanding. And now we come to the understanding from the repertory and from the materia medica. So from the repertory, we had so many characteristic rubrics in this particular case. There was fear of darkness, aggravation by domination of the brother, delusion that she's persecuted, anxiety about what will happen, something bad will happen, ailments from grief, and handle things cannot, overwhelmed by stress, wants to be quiet, restlessness, very slowness, desires to sit still, and ailments from abuse, answering very slowly, desires to stay in bed, company aversion to, and concentration difficult. So all these symptoms, when they were repertorized, so I got the remedy chocolate coming as very prominent in all these symptoms. And then our next step is to read the remedy from the soul of remedies by Shankaran sir. That is to understand what is the soul or the materia medica or the core genius of the remedy. So what the soul of remedies says, that chocolate is the remedy of the drug group of the psychotic miasm. Its main feeling is the want of warmth and affection. It is the feeling of a child who was separated from her mother too early, while the need to suck at the mother's breast was still very strong. And as a result, the person feels forsaken, isolated, and estranged from her family. And being separated from her mother makes her feel as if she is separated from her world. Further, what is written is that the child continues to crave for the love and contact of her mother that she misses so badly. Also, some rubrics have been mentioned about delusion small, delusion separated from world, delusion lost at home, dream estranged from family, and forsaken, a sensation of isolation. As the remedy chocolate is not very well covered in many materia medicals, so I try to read it from the proving. Dr. Jeremy Shear has proved chocolate, and when going through the proving, I saw so many symptoms which were as if exactly the symptoms of this particular patient. Felt rejected and oversensitive, hid away from the world, felt my life would fall apart. These are what the provers have told in the chocolate proving. Felt totally isolated and averse to company and estranged himself from family. Then felt the desire to be alone and more able to live alone, unsociable, averse to company and conversation, and desires to be alone. So when we see that all the five fingers are coming together, when all the things, whether the superclass, the kingdom, subkingdom, the miasm, the characteristic rubrics, as well as the soul, the core, or the materia medica keynotes are pointing towards the remedy. And we could totally understand that this patient was on a delusion level. She was still in the dream world that I'm separated from the family and I am totally left isolated. So I started the patient with chocolate 1 m BD for 2 days and chocolate 0/8 HS for a month. And after 1 month itself, she gave a very good follow-up that her auditory hallucinations disappeared. Sleep was slightly better, anxiety was slightly less, but still these were there in the first follow-up. And when the same medicine was continued for another 2 months, we saw after 3 months that her anxiety and depression symptoms were much better. The insomnia was better. And so then the psychotropics could be tapered down. She was on very heavy antidepressant and anxiolytic medicines. So then the medicines with the discussion with the psychiatrist were gradually tapered down, and the same remedy was continued for another month. And then gradually the patient started feeling better physically and she started getting back the energy. Since all these years, she was just feeling just to sit on her bed, just lie down, not to do anything. Now she started feeling energetic, and she's what we see in patients who have already been under all these psychotropics and also having depression for so long. So she had just gained so much weight. She had become so puffy and very lethargic, very low BMI. So all those features were very clear, which are very commonly seen in depression patients. And now after the remedy, after 5 months of the remedy, she started feeling energetic, and then she started exercising. And also, we were able to stop all her anti-anxiety medicines. Now, since Feb, she's not on any other sleeping pill or any other medicine. And the best rewarding follow-up was in March when the patient smiled. She came in smiling to the OPD for the first time. And she was totally a different person because she had been exercising, she had been active now. She had lost a considerable amount of weight. And another thing that I had not asked her directly, but was always up my mind, was that she has been living here alone with her daughter, and the husband is living in UAE. And she had never mentioned anything about that because she was totally dull, that depressed state, still stuck at that point of her parents' death. But now, in March, she herself talked about, Doctor, now I am applying for a residency, UAE residency, and now I'll be trying to go and settle with my husband there. So now she had actually moved out of that depression, that PTSD, where she was stuck for so many years, 3 to 4 years. And that was so very rewarding to see that. But we are not only happy to see what the patient is subjectively telling, that testimonial is important, but when we objectively also document that. So then this is the point when I asked her to fill up the PHQ-9 questionnaire and the GAD questionnaire again. And we got wonderful results that her PHQ-9 score, which was 17 earlier, had come down to 7. Sorry, had come down to 3. And the GAD 7 score had come down from 11 to 2, which means no depression and very, very minimal anxiety. So this is the follow-up that I could get only when I could follow the systematic approach of the 5-finger method. Definitely my first prescription in 2024 was Ignatia with a lot of sighing and that acute concentrated grief, long concentrated grief, but that did not help the patient. It's only when got the entire history, could get the experience of the patient and could understand the patient from all the 5 fingers. That is when chocolate was given and the case was came out so beautifully. And so I had already also submitted it, and it has been published in the National Journal of Homeopathy in its May issue, just released last week. If any of you want, you can go through this case from there also. And then I also read Sir's Malware's family sensation and was happy to see here I could get the answer to some more questions. The sensation of Malvelis is attached and then detached together and then separated. And the passive reaction is estranged, indifferent to everything, and aversion to husband. So I had seen this patient in that passive state when she had come to me. And with the help of this remedy chocolate given by this 5-finger method, we were able to restore this patient back into life where her life had just stopped 4 years back. Now she had again started living and again started moving back to her husband and her life and started exercising. So it is very much, we feel very grateful to homeopathy and to Sir's teaching that we are able to help the patients, so many patients of depression, anxiety, and such severe PTSD also with the help of our homeopathic medications. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share this case with all of you. And also another thing, I was very happy when we went through all the analysis shared by most of you. And most of our participants had reached to the fourth super class, which is wonderful. And many had also come to another remedy, which is very nice because many participants have come to a remedy Kali Brome. And so I've been asked to differentiate from that. It's very interesting because one of the symptoms which I also looked up in that our repertory gives is that ailments from repeated deaths in family one after the other, which is there only in three remedies. That is Ambragresia, Gallium-metallicum, and Caliprom. So definitely this was a rubric that I had seen. And all these three remedies happen to be there from the fourth superclass itself. Sorry, Ambragresia is fifth superclass, and Gallium-metallicum and Calibrum are fourth superclass. So how do we understand the difference between chocolate and Calibrum? So when we read from Sir's insight into plants, when we read from the structure, what we understand the main issue or main problem in Kali Brom is that Kali Brom is a person who wants support of the family, but what he gets, Brom is the halogen, which gives it a feeling of danger, as if the family on whom I was dependent is now trying to harm me. So that is the core thing, the core sensation or the genius of Kali Brom. Here in our patient, what we have is that the patient had a lot of issue that I'm attached to my family and I've been separated, I've been abandoned, I've been isolated, estranged from my family. My world has come to the end. And she was very much sensitive to anything that was happening around her. Whereas in the Kali Brom, it's always a feeling that I have danger. The core is there that there's ailments from fear of death from family, danger from family. I am not safe in my own home. So this is how we can understand. And if there are any other particular questions also, we can discuss. So lithium mure and lithium bromide are also prominent as attachment and separation with guilt plus issue of fourth subclass 4. Doctor, lithium mure and lithium bromide definitely have that attachment detachment, but these are the, you are seeing the features of the mure or the bromide, whereas lithium is basically of the first superclass. It is a person who really has to be in that shell, who is safe inside the mother's womb. So hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, and boron, they belong to the first superclass where the core dynamis is to be withdraw inside the womb, to stay there, and they will be blank. They will not have that much issue of attachment and detachment. Definitely the muriaticum gives that issue of separation, or the bromide gives that issue of danger. See, the brother has taken all the property, that is a issue. But when the patient was asked that what are the things, what is it that affecting you the most? So there were a series: death of the father, death of the mother, death of the younger brother, and the brothers taking the financial things. But what she was always talking about was that the mother's death and the younger brother's death affected me the most. And even the elder brother taking away the house for the patient, what was it for her? We don't have to see that what is it for ourselves. For this patient, it was that I'm separated from the house I was so much attached to. Doctor, we had spent such wonderful time in this house with my sisters, with my brother, with my mother, and now I'm just thrown out of this house. I was separated from the house I was so attached to. So this is the issue or the perception or the experience for our patient. And that is why we understand this as a Malvilles theme. So there are many more questions. Dr. Kyle, you can tell me till when I have to continue with the questions. So differentiate from natramure. Definitely natramure is a remedy that comes to mind, but natramure is more of the third superclass. It is very mild, and it is here the dynamis of the patient was not love and limit. The dynamis was my entire world is shaken. My security is gone. My daughter's security is gone. So the way the patient perceived the situation. And this is not something that happened only in this particular situation. When the person was asked her nature since childhood, what she told was that she was not a very mild type of a child. She was angry, but angry when things are planned and then that routine is disturbed. That would irritate and anger her. So, from these things, we can understand that this dynamism of routine being disturbed is something which is more in the fourth superclass. We see that irritability in brainia, we that see that in collagens. So that is what we saw in this patient. And so with the superclass understanding also, we can differentiate the remedy from natramur and also from the keynotes. Because even if I have to think about, I'll not think about natrum that much. We can think about magnesium, because magnesium has more that abandoned feeling. So that abandoned feeling of chocolate and magnesium comes very close, and that is what we can differentiate with this superclass theme. Did not the patient cling to her family and so is withdrawn? So I went to superclass 1. See, we can't take these things as what do I perceive what the patient is doing. When we ask the patient, what are you doing? She never said that I went to into her own world. I have so many cases of the first superclass. The terms that the patient used is, doctor, when this happened, I just went to into my own shell. When my brother did like this or my mother expired, I just uh, distance myself from everybody. I was blank at that spot of time when the brother took away that house. I was just blank. I couldn't react. I was frozen. That fish brain response. That is what we see in the first superclass. Here, what this patient is saying, I felt that the earth is shaken. I mean, I am totally lost. I have no stability, no security for my daughter. So, what is the way the patient is perceiving that particular situation? That is what gives us the understanding of his or her dynamism.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Kirti. That was a wonderful case, and how you documented it as well. You know, you had all the, the findings and the questionnaire to, to rate the patient, etc. Really excellent. And then the understanding of the superclass, really lovely. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And there's still some questions. I think that people still have a lot of questions. So these, please take a note of these questions that you have. For example, if you want to differentiate, cola from chocolate, etc. These are the types of questions that would be wonderful for you to bring to your mentor groups. And all the mentors have seen this case, are watching this recording. They'll know about this case, and they could also differentiate in amongst this fourth superclass, etc., etc. So if you still have questions, make a note of it. And then these are the type of things that we can discuss in the mentor groups, no problem. But now we will hand over to Dr. Sankaran, who would like to share.
Well, this case Dr. Kirti has presented very nicely, and it's a very good kind of example of what I have been teaching. So Kyle, if you don't mind sharing a blank Word document so we can write a few things. So essentially, a superclass, how do you know what the superclass is? Basically by three things. Number one is the dynamic. Number two is the nature of the person. And number three is the issues of the person. So as you can see in this case, the issues are all about stability, about money, about family, about routine. So these are the issues of the fourth row of the periodic table. And this clearly puts this person in the fourth superclass. It may not be the fourth row of the periodic table, but it will be the fourth superclass. The second thing is, as far as the kingdom is concerned, the kingdom is based upon what the experience during a crisis moment is. So, for example, in this case, suppose the crisis moment is the death of a loved one, death of a parent or a brother or whatever it may be. So, what is the experience during the death? This is where you have to listen very, very carefully. If the experience is of losing something that you need, where you feel incomplete, where you feel you are not enough, where you feel you need protection, you need security, you need guidance, you need love, you need, and that thing is not there. This is a mineral kingdom. But if the experience is of something happening, for example, separation, for example, shock, surprise, etc., then this is a plant kingdom. So this is a very subtle differentiation. You have to be very attentive to what the person is saying. If they are saying, my main theme is that I was attached and now I am separated, this is my main story, then it is plant. But if the person says, oh, I needed his support, I needed his love, I needed his money, I needed his guidance, and now who I will go to for all this? If this is the experience, then it is mineral. So this is another important thing to note. And the third thing is that when we see a particular theme, for example, here we see the theme of separation. Now, if you put there the word separation, then it can come in any superclass. But the context will be different. Separation from what? In the first superclass, it is separation from the womb. It's a feeling as if you are being separated from something that covers you, something that keeps you cozy, comfortable, that doesn't expose you to the outside world. See, separation from the womb or separation from the shell. You can say like that. Now, in the second superclass, it is also similar, separation from the womb, but now there are two sides to it. One is that you don't want separation, and the other side is you want separation. You see, you want to be in and you want to be out at the same time. This is typical like carbon or cannabis or remedies like that. You see, you want to be in and out. Maybe some of you remember a case of graphites I showed you in the Pune seminar, where from the death of his grandfather, he developed eczema, and his experience was, my grandfather gave me a womb-like feeling, a safe, comfortable, cozy feeling. But I don't want to be there. I feel I'm like a bored and vegetable. I want to go out also. So this is the second superclass. In the third superclass, it is separation from relationship. For example, warmth, nourishment, separation from your loved one, from your partner, from your, boyfriend, girlfriend. Remedies like natramur will be here, you see. So this is the separation that they are looking. This is the context, which means what is the context? The issues are nourishment, care, identity, etc. In the fourth superclass, the separation is from your stability and security, from your whatever gives you that stability. Maybe it is your family, maybe it is your home, maybe it is your job. So, separation from that. In the fifth superclass, it is separation in terms of your performance. For example, argentum nitricum has a strong theme of forsaken feeling, sense of isolation. But when do they feel the isolation? When they stop performing, when they fail in their performance, then they feel they are separated from everybody. And in the sixth superclass, you can say it is separation from either dependence, total dependence like Baraita Kaab, or it is separation out of terror and fear. For example, stramonium, you feel alone in the wilderness, you feel scared you're going to die. Or digitalis, which is scrofulariae, which is a traumatic separation. So separation comes with trauma or separation comes with fear. This is the theme of, so separation can be in any superclass. You see, this is what I'm trying to point out. So people are asking why it is not lithium, why it is not natrum, why it is not something else. This is the answer. It is in which context from which you are separated. This is how you can differentiate. The rest of the presentation was very beautiful. I don't have anything to say more, just a little bit of clarification.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Dr. Sankaran, for sharing with us. And I hope everyone, got some further clarification there and deeper understanding. And then we would just like to talk a little bit. I think we've all enjoyed this session. It's been very, very nice. It was a wonderful case. And then this extra clarification at the end, also lovely. So we want to have more events like this. Obviously, we're doing the study buddy, but we also want to have other events where you can see more cases from our different doctors, just like this one, this chocolate case. Lovely. So we want to do more of these things. But it's also important to point out, I think we've discussed with all of you, where these doctors are coming from, their background, and how they've spent the time and the learning, how they've put in the hours. And they're all coming from, for example, they're all doing the Indian Gurukul, or they have done it, or they're taking part in that. And you can see the experience that they've gained from that. This was a really wonderful case from Dr. Kirti. And she is an experienced member and part of the Indian Gurukul. So, we want to continue this and make this available to everyone. And so you will see that one second. So if you would also like to be a part of this, obviously the study buddy program is there. But if you want to also, be up one day here, showing your cases and learning and taking this to the next level, like this, then we would also highly recommend that you take part in the Gurukul. And we will be starting the next Gurukul in August of this year. And the applications are starting now. You can go to the website, get all the information. We have all the information about how the course works, all the fees, when the dates are starting. Every bit of information is there. And also, if any queries, you're most welcome to let us know. All the application process is there on the website as well, as we'll explain to you. Do go through that. And then as part of this Gurukul now, which will be starting in August, as I mentioned, we want to, have more of these events as well, where doctors come and share their cases from the Gurukul, like Dr. Kirti and others, so that you can also learn and see more cases and see exactly how Gurukul benefits people. So with that in mind, we will be having more of these sessions. The next one we will be starting very soon. We'll have one in June. We will announce the final date within the next few days. We have you all on different WhatsApp groups, and we'll make the announcement, and we'll share the case in advance again. We might even do 2 cases, we'll see, and really get the most out of it and make an event out of this, and going forward and hoping that as many as possible of you will join the Gurukul. Also, some people are asking about the recording. Yes, we will make the recording available for the session. You can watch the case again. And people are wanting to join the Gurukul. That's lovely. Please do go to the website, find the information. And if any doubts, you let us know. If you are in contact with a past Gurukul participant, you can also speak to them and ask for their experience. We could also ask Dr. Kamlesh Kakade is here with us today. Dr. Kamlesh, maybe you could share. He is a past participant in Gurukul. He's doing the Gurukul extension at the moment, along with Dr. Kirti. And he could tell us a little bit about why you should join the Gurukul, how it could help you.
Yeah, sure. So thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Kamlesh Kakade, and I'm practicing here in Nagpur since last 13 years. And since beginning, my quest was to how to be a celebrated or refined physician. And is it sufficient to just be a good prescriber to be a best physician? And I got all the answers in Gurukul, and that's why Gurukul is very important for me. And what I learned that being a good prescriber is necessary, but also being a good physician and having good qualities is also essential to be a best physician. And Gurukul teaches both of these aspects. Gurukul teaches the theory part, like we have seen in our Gurukul, the evolution of five finger method, evolution of superclass idea. We could learn lot of theoretical concepts like uh, kingdom understanding, family understanding, medicine understanding. Along with that, we could actually see Dr. Sankaran sir practicing, taking cases, perceiving cases, analyzing cases, follow-ups one by one. We could sit with him, we could discuss with him. And it was like a personal training with each of the participants. We were 14 students at that time. And it is wonderful experience. It is wholesome experience, I can say. This course is a holistic course where your right and left, both the brains get this chance to learn and evolve and to bridge how to work together. And that's why this course is very important. This course I could experience and learn wise processes, not just theoretically, but actually I could see wise processes happening on patients, on myself. I could experience what is the experience of going deep into ourselves, our own experience, how to perceive ourselves. And these experiences are really enriching me as a physician, as a person. And yes, these are some key features of the Gurukul, and you can actually learn from the legend itself, himself, from the sir. And he has whole encyclopedia of the knowledge, homeopathic knowledge, not only homeopathic knowledge, but also wisdom, how to be, how to be in your life. So his whole encyclopedia of knowledge, and being just around this person, you can get a lot of things. His energy, his way of thinking, his way of being, everything is enriching, and you could experience all of these things through this course, Gurukul. And I'm very thankful and grateful after joining this course. Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks so much for sharing with us, Dr. Kamlesh. And again, thank you to Dr. Kirti for that amazing case. So just a final reminder that if you're not in a group already and you want to join the mentoring program, this is the number you can contact. We'll put you in a group with your peers. You can take part in the mentoring, and we'd be very happy to have you. And also all of these other questions, all of the mentors will have been involved with Gurukul as well. So if you have questions about Gurukul or other courses, you're also most welcome to ask them. Otherwise, thank you all for participating, sending us in your cases, your analysis. It was really lovely to have this interaction and to have all of you. So I'll say thank you from all of us here, and good night. And we'll be in touch soon with your mentors and your groups, etc. All right. Thank you.